Moving in to our last topic for this week's episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm Matt Cobold here with Max Faulkner. Max, give us this is the week 11 Extra Juicy Dawgz.
Mm.
Oh. Give us your quarterback for this week, bro.
Glasses are on for this one, so I can read some extra juicy stats.
Give me them.
Extra juicy stats for my extra juicy dog for this week. I'm going CJ Stroud. Okay, this guy, we already brought him up, is red freaking hot. He's going up against Arizona, which is ranked 25th against the pass. Last two games, we already brought him up 470 yards for 5 touchdowns. That's 48 fantasy points. That was against the Bucks. Last week, he had 356 yards with 1 touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown as well. That's 21.8 fantasy points. He's going to have a big game against Arizona. Houston is sniffing the playoffs.
Houston is sniffing a freaking wild card. I can't believe it. CJ Stroud, rookie of the year. We already said that. I just can't believe he's averaging more fantasy points per game than Patty Mahomes, Tua Tagovailoa, and Lamar Jackson. That's nuts.
Definitely.
My extra juicy quarterback for week 11. I'm going to San Francisco. I'm going to pick Brock Purdy here. Okay, not a guy that's probably in the top 5 of your rankings, but if you're in a QB controversy, you got a decision to make, you can feel comfortable putting Brock Purdy in your lineup this week. He's quarterback 11 on the season. I mean, he's a high-end QB2, low-end QB1. He's coming off his second best fantasy performance of the season last week at Jacksonville, coming off the bye, where he threw for 296 yards and 3 tutties. He's been better than Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence this year, ranked better than both of those guys. They're 11.5-point favorites at home over Tampa Bay. The Bucs are 29th against quarterbacks. Should have all his weapons healthy. You can fire up Brock Purdy this week.
I like it.
Who's your extra juicy dog at the running back position?
Oh, we are going to the Lions, baby, and David Montgomery. Okay, a lot of people might have thought Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm going David Montgomery. This two-headed monster they have. They're taking on Chicago. Chicago's ranked 20th against the run. Last game, coming back, because David Montgomery had a 3-game absence, immediately gets back into the mix, has 116 rushing yards, a touchdown, 21.6 fantasy points. I'm telling you right now, I'm guaranteeing him. My buddy Mr. Tutty with David Montgomery, baby, against his old team. Apparently, they didn't want him.
Revenge game.
Chicago didn't want him. I knew letting him go was not a good idea, and he's gonna make him pay.
David Montgomery's having a hell of a year. I had him in my top 20 coming into the season, but I guess I didn't have him high enough because I didn't get him in drafts.
Yeah.
My extra juicy dog at the running back position for week 11. I had this guy last week. And he let me down. I'm going back to him. I'm getting greedy. Tony Pollard, okay? Going back to Tony Pollard this week. He's running back 20 on the season. He's top 12 at the running back position in carries, receptions, and targets. He's getting the volume. He's the only player in the NFL. Let me say that again. He's the only player in the NFL with 12-plus touches and 55-plus yards in each game they played. 12-plus touches and 55-plus yards. He's the only player to do that in every game he's played this season. Dallas, they're 12.5-point favorites against those Pussycat Panthers of Carolina. The Panthers are 31st against running backs. He still hasn't scored since week 1. I think that's ridiculous. Tony Pollard hasn't scored a touchdown since week 1. I guaranteed him last week. The Cowboys put up 49 points, and he didn't score. Cowboys scored 49.
CeeDee Lamb got a rush in there. He got a rushing touchdown instead.
That's fucking nice to hear.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb's a beast. But I think this week, I've got confidence in Tony Pollard. I got confidence in the Cowboys, giving him the volume. My buddy, Mr. Tutty, I'm going back to it. He let me down last week. If he lets me down again this week, I won't pick him again. I won't pick him again if he doesn't score this week. Tony Pollard's on my shit list if he doesn't find the end zone this week.
Man. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I'll find something out about him and nominate him for douche of the year. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
That's how serious I am about this.
Apparently that's his fault. It's not Mike McCarthy's play call, which Dak Prescott throws the ball like 50 times a game.
Well, they think they figured something out, and definitely. It's working with CD.
Oh yeah.
Who's your extra juicy dog at the wide receiver position?
I'm going with a familiar face, but I don't even know if we talked about this guy in an extra juicy dog segment. I'm going Mike Evans of the Buccaneers going up against San Francisco. Okay. San Francisco, believe it or not, they're ranked 24th. 24th against wide receivers. And Mike Evans is a big dog. Okay. Last week, this guy had 6 catches on 10 targets, 143 yards, and a touchdown. That's 24.3 fantasy points. This guy's ranked 9th in our league. He's ranked 9th for wide receivers, a top 10 wide receiver still. He does it every year. I swear. Last year was his down year. He's back. He's back. He's ready to go. He's rolling. Mike Evans is looking like a stud. I'm not guaranteeing a touchdown.
Oh, come on.
I wanted to. But I'm not guaranteeing it with a red hot San Francisco team.
Yeah, Mike Evans is having a heck of a year. I didn't know he was top 10. Jeez. I don't know if you saw the touchdown that he dropped on Sunday. He actually dropped one. And he came out and said that he because he was so wide open. Nobody was even by him. He just dropped it. He queefed. He said he was thinking about which fan to give the ball to after he scored, and that's why he dropped it. Don't know if he was joking or not, but that's what he said. My extra juicy dog at the wide receiver position. I'm going to a juicy game down in South Beach. I'm going Tyreek Hill. Okay, now, I'm not going out on a limb and picking this guy this week, but I think he's going to have a big game. He's wide receiver 1 on this season. He's the big dog. He leads the league with 1,076 receiving yards and 8 receiving scores. He's rested coming off the bye. 13.5-point home favorites over the Las Vegas Raiders. This game has a 46.5-point over-under that's tied for the 3rd highest on the week. Now, the Raiders, they're pretty solid against wide receivers. They're 7th. They're top 10. They're 7th.
Yeah.
But Tyreek is matchup proof. There's nobody that can run with him. I think he gets loose. I think they hit the run game. Devon Achane might be back. Raheem Mostert gets loose. They keep pounding it, and then Tyreek Hill's going to get loose deep for my buddy, Mr. Tutty. Tyreek Hill, week 11, is going to score against the Raiders. Don't call me greedy, but that's my second guarantee this week.
I like it. I like that. I like that you're getting a little greedy there.
Greedy season, it's almost Turkey Day. It's almost Turkey Day.
Can't wait.
Greedy.
God.
Whoa.
So hungry for that turkey.
Finish us up here with your extra juicy dog at the tight end position for the week 11 slate.
I almost went 4 weeks in a row with Dalton. Or with a Dalton, because I did Dalton Kincaid 2 weeks in a row. Then I did a Dalton Schultz last week.
Talk about greedy.
I was looking at Dalton Kincaid. I'm like, well, he's got another good matchup this week. And then I'm like, he scored a touchdown last week. Just so we're clear, Dalton Kincaid's the man. Okay,
he's good.
Why am I talking about a Dalton when I got Sam Laporta this week against the Chicago Bears? All right, Chicago Bears are ranked 27th against the tight end. Okay, Sam Laporta better be in your lineups. He's ranked 5th. Okay. Sam Laporta is a top 5 tight end.
Okay.
And the past 4 games, this guy is on average he's averaging 4 targets in the last 4 games. Okay. That's a lot of targets for a tight end. You better believe this guy. I'm not guaranteeing anything. Not guaranteeing anything. I'm not getting too greedy.
Only one this week?
Only one this week. Only one. I've been pretty good. And you're not listening. You're the one that listened to Cole Breezy. He's tired of Lockett sitting on your bench. He was your best wide receiver last week.
He was my best wide receiver last week. I benched him. For DeAndre Hopkins, who queefed on me, and then Brandon Ayuk. But you've gotten three more. You're leading the My Buddy Mr. Tutty section by 3 right now. So you're looking good. Hell of a percentage. One more time, who was your tight end?
Sam
Laporta potty. Okay. Detroit Lions. I'm going to Arizona for my extra juicy dog at the tight end position. Maybe a name that a lot of people don't know about, but I'm going to introduce you here to Trey McBride. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
He's the tight end 15 on the season. He's coming off of 8 catches for a career high 131 receiving yards last week against Atlanta. There's not many tight ends out there that can give you 131 receiving yards.
Very true. Yeah.
This is the first Arizona Cardinal tight end to go over 100 yards in a game since 1989. 1989, Arizona hasn't had a tight end catch 100 receiving yards in a game. That's nuts.
That is okay.
Arizona, They're 5-point underdogs at Houston. They're going to have to throw to keep up. We're thinking it could be a shootout with CJ Stroud here. It's got potential to be a shootout because it's the highest over under of the week. 48.5 point over under, highest on the week. Houston, they're 29th against tight ends. Houston sucks against the tight end. I'm firing him up in my lineup this week. I'm starting him in my lineup in our main league. I'm not going to guarantee a touchdown. I want to. I think he can. Houston's 29th against tight ends. Going to be a lot of points in this game, but I'm not going to get greedy. It's not Thanksgiving week yet. You might hear 3 touchdown guarantees from me next week.
I might do the same. I might do the same.
Not this week. Trey McBride with a big game. I'm firing him up in my lineup. You can too.